unofficial Universal Orlando podcast is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com. Now, discover the universe, one theme park at a time.
Greetings, Universal fans. It's time for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, discovering more about the Universal Orlando Resort, as well as Universal Studios Hollywood, Japan, and Singapore.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 118. 18! Whatever that was. Of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I'm your host, Lee. The show is brought to you in association with MiceChat.com and sponsored by Fairy Godmother Travel and the Producers Club and Tracy's two middle fingers, apparently. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Joining me tonight is my two-fingered wife, Tracy.
Definitely have more than two fingers.
No, you didn't. You only showed me two.
Well, there's another two to match. Hello, everyone.
The inimitable... I don't even know what I'm talking about now. I'm all over the place.
Now.
Hunter.
I don't even know what's going on. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And, of course, the lovely Darren.
What's up?
You can just hear the exasperation and disappointment in Darren's voice.
He is
God,
lovely.
what's up, Internet?
Right, the show tonight is going to be very listener-driven. We've had a couple of suggestions for topics for this show from listeners, obviously, that would make it listener-driven. And the first one we're going to cover was actually from listener Sarah Alain 57 on Twitter, and she asked, have you ever considered covering the topic of best stroke favourite ways to tell your kids that we're going to Orlando? Apparently they're trying to keep it hush, but possibly need a contingency. So, any ideas, everyone?
Let me just go through my notepad because actually...
Well, we've actually done it.
We have actually done it, yes.
Because when we went over in 2009, our kids didn't know. And what we actually did was reached out to some of the podcasts that we listened to and asked them to record little messages for us.
So what's Lee saying is ask somebody else?
No, well, yeah.
No.
And we put it on the CD. I got them on and I put them on a CD. And when we went down, the kids thought we were going to the airport to go to Spain. And we stopped off at a services on the way down, went for wheeze and stuff, and then put the CD in the car before we set off. And that's when the kids found out.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was like...
We'd spent, 18 months keeping it secret.
Oh, it was killing
with a few amazing slip-ups and recoveries. We even learned Spanish.
Yeah. We were,
it was very elaborate, this ruse.
We had a Spanish language course CD that we were listening to while we were eating our dinner on a night.
Muy fatal.
Yeah. And then Raymond cried because he was so excited, and Jade cried because I want to go to Spain. What? Whatever.
Yeah.
Come on then, Tracy.
Haven't we even recorded like a few messages like that? Now that I think about it?
We have for the Gallinanas,
Yes.
because Tyler, is it Tyler? It was at the orthodontist, wasn't he? And then they were picking him up from the orthodontist and then going straight to the airport to go to all. That was only about 3 or 4 months ago, wasn't it?
Well, I have actually made a puzzle
Oh my God.
that I could email. And it's kind of like, it's one of these things where it's a grid. Kind of, it's not a word search though. So it's like lots of clues for the kids, and it's like the first letter of the animal that neighs. Is it?
A horse.
A horse. So you'd colour in all the H's.
Right.
And then you'd colour in all the letters, and what you're left with would then read something along the lines of, we are going to Orlando. So they actually have to do a puzzle, they have to work to get
Okay.
to it. So I have one of those that I could email out. If anybody wants to do that, I can do that. You know.
Say we could do it. Like, I'm sure if you emailed like Universal or any of the parks, they could do something like that. Or what you do is, if you have friends in America, you can get them to write like a letter from,
Send
from
a postcard.
like Harry Potter. We can't wait to meet you, or
like
that type of daft thing.
Mail.
We can't wait to lead you into dangerous positions.
I did have something and it's gone. Hang on.
Any ideas, you two? No.
It's not as impressive for me and Hunter, because if we were to tell kids we're going, it's like, all right, we're going to go over to Orlando 2 hours
Yeah.
away. That place you
Hey
know about.
guys, get in my car. We're taking a 45-minute trip up the road.
Where they're from?
I guess I could surprise the neighborhood kids, but
Sure.
Yeah, surprise kids.
Yeah, may get arrested for that one.
Just,
What
pull
about
them out of the trunk and say, we're here.
I think that's a little frowned on, just
crimes
going,
are universal.
just picking kids up off the side of the road.
what about going out for dinner? And as they go in, asking slipping an envelope with print off something really nice. Like you can get borders of Universal Studios and stuff like that. You can print. They're freely available online. You can print off and print off a little letter, hand that to somebody, and when dessert comes out on the plate as well, is an envelope for the kids to open.
I say Universal could make a little bit of money off of this too. They
Yeah.
could sell videos and kind of things with the Transformers, telling the kids, kids, the Autobots need you.
Yeah.
That would be
After you roll
cool.
out to Universal, yeah.
Yeah.
The Grinch
That-
and
like that kind of thing.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Men in Black.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do one for each attraction.
Yeah.
Really. And then especially Harry Potter, that they could go crazy with that coming from there.
Because
yeah.
did they do? I know Disney do it, but do Universal do personalized wake up calls at the hotels, from character wake up calls?
Yeah, they do.
See,
I know the Despicable Me room comes with special personalized wake up calls, and they're doing the One Direction ones too.
so it is something like the kind. So yeah, it wouldn't take much to do even like a phone call. Like an automated phone call. If they can do it to the hotel room, surely they could do it to anywhere around the world, really.
Yeah.
A similar thing. It's like, oh, it's someone on the phone for you, kids. And it's
It would be, nothing for them to make a video or that kind of thing.
yeah.
I wonder if they actually emailed Universal, because they will call you back to answer your questions.
As a rule, yeah, I guess services do,
I
don't
wonder
they?
if it wouldn't hurt, because what's the worst that can say no,
Yeah.
and further, in the same position. I think I was trying to say, maybe email Universal and they could actually maybe call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way and tell the kids.
Just blindfold them, stick them in the back of the car and say we'd take it a trip.
Yeah. Exactly.
But just keep them blindfolded until they get off the plane. You might have to take some chloroform or something with it to knock them out on the plane
We
so
do
they're not
not
bored.
advocate chloroform. Not officially. For my kids, it's fine.
Ooh.
Just convince them they're sending them to a boarding school, and then just be like, surprise, we're here too.
Yeah. We're sending you to boarding school like Harry Potter. Or actually, you know what? If you really want to break the news, leave them in a cupboard and tell them you're going to Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the cupboard under the stairs. Actually,
The
if
Harry Potter experience, yeah.
You can, I don't have it to hand, you can actually get Hogwarts acceptance letters. You could somehow tie that
work
in.
that round.
Although you may then have a child that's disappointed they're not actually going to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Say that quietly because I don't know who listens.
Well, we've got plenty of listeners with kids who I'm sure have probably tried this out. If any of you have done anything like this, kept it secret, and then let your kids know, drop us an email. We'd love to know how you've done it as well, and we can share that with Sarah, because that would be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The email is, anybody, Tracy?
podcast@uuopodcast.com.
That'll be the one.
We could also start with a thread on the Facebook page as well.
Yes, we could. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, Sarah, if you're not on our Facebook page, get over there.
Yes.
Right, that was just a short one. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back for the second part of the show, which is the main event.
Ooh.
Diagon Alley is now open at Universal Studios Florida, and we know all you witches and wizards can't wait to visit. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel deal with the muggles in resort reservations. They are a Universal Parks and Resorts specialist, as well as an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the new Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando vacation needs. And make sure to let them know you heard about them because of UUOP. Because every UUOP referral helps us continue to bring you the best Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone at 832-284-4002 or toll free on 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com. Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Welcome back, everyone. You are, of course, listening to the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast with me, Lee, and Tracy, and Darren, and Hunter. Now,
Yes.
the segment we are about to cover is something that these guys don't know about. And it was actually suggested to us by one of our listeners, Jason Gallant, or Gallant, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name. He's actually just been to Universal very recently. And he wanted to hear our opinions on, and this man's name's going to come up again like it did on last week's show, one of Derek Burgan's recent articles for the touringplans.com. No.
The unofficial Universal Orlando podcast is brought to you
by the Derek Burgan suite, even though no one at bloody Royal Pacific knows who he is. So Derek writes for the Touring Plans blog every week, every Saturday, and his article's called the Saturday 6, and it's usually like the top 6 counter service restaurants at Universal, or the top 6 secrets in the Disney Cruise Line, or whatever. It's like Orlando theme park based. But the one that we got asked for our thoughts on was entitled The Saturday 6, The Disney Hipsters Examine 6 of Their Assumptions After Visiting the Universal Orlando Resort.
Okay.
So we're going to go through each one of these and then put in our thoughts. Assumption number 6 is that Universal team members would be inferior to Disney cast members. And the thoughts that they put on this assumption was very wrong. As a rule, the team members were super friendly, helpful, and amazing. We expected the customer service aspect and general employee-guest interactions at Universal to be less than great. We ended up being really surprised by the enthusiasm of the team members at both the parks and our resort, which was the Royal Pacific. This was especially true of performers inside both Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. Apparently, Universal pays their team members a bit better, from what they've heard, and gives them more freedom when doing their jobs than Disney. I'm assuming that's than Disney. This results in guest interactions that come off as way more genuine, along with performances that were truly engaging. Check out the Host of Disaster or the Horror Makeup Show for great examples. Disney is
Absolutely.
Well, Hunter, you'll be able to talk about this a bit more. Disney is more controlling on cast member behaviour, including what they can and cannot say. Sometimes this makes cast members seem like they're faking it, resulting their performances being generally stale and boring. See The Great Movie Ride. Mm-hmm. Thoughts, guys?
Absolutely agree. And honestly, I've had every Universal team member. I'm actually good friends with a lot of them just from, hanging out at the park and then exchanging contacts and stuff. I've had better experiences overall at Universal than even I did with a lot of the cast members in the Disney parks.
Right. And that's quite interesting coming from you as being an ex-cast member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're kind of very. I what am I allowed to say? What form did I sign 3 years ago?
I think once you left, it doesn't matter, does it?
Someone else going ahead. I'll chime back in.
Yeah, well, I've always had good experiences with the team members, and the stories we've heard from, like, the few stories that we get and that kind of thing is like the hipster said, they have a lot of freedom, to do what they want to do, and the couple of like rides that have a little bit of talking beforehand or acting. Actually, just this past weekend when I was at Universal, we were on Men in Black, and there was a cast member up front that singled out a kid. He was operating the ride, and he kept looking over at her the whole time. And then when she finally got up to the ride, he's like, "Are you an alien?" Pretty sure, like, I've been working here a long time. I can pick these things out. And he's like, and he did a trick question. He's like, I forget exactly what he said, but either way she answered it, he could reply back and say that she was an alien. Basically, like, she just admitted it. So, I mean, just little things like that I've always seen. They're all really cool.
Yeah.
Having been to the Disney parks recently, I remember when I was a kid going there, and like, each person that saw you, like, smiled and waved and greeted you and everything. But that, I don't think I see that nearly as much as now as I did back then.
And that's because they're all college program kids.
Well, Tracy, you go back to our experience last year.
Uh-huh.
You know, you talk about those differences between what we had on Disney property compared to what we had on Universal property.
How many times did I actually stomp out of stores on Disney property?
A lot.
Because of the attitude, the way I remember at Downtown Disney being served, and the woman serving us never spoke to us, never made eye contact. She was too busy chatting to somebody else on the same counter. Do you not remember that?
No? Which store was that in?
I want to say the days of Christmas. And I was fuming because I was spending a good amount of money and I couldn't even get a word of courtesy spoken to me, apart from to ask me for my cold hard cash.
Well, we got frowned upon by a Disney custodian in the Magic Kingdom for filling our water bottles up from the water fountains.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he sort of looked at us with this big grimace on his face, shook his head and walked off. Like, what the hell?
Oh boy.
Maybe he didn't like the taste.
dear.
I'm not saying we haven't had bad experiences at uni. It's definitely, I mean, we've been going since '04, and it's definitely got better.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I'll say is that it seems like cast members, they're generally a lot happier when they're doing things that directly maintain some sort of relationship with the guest for the cast member side. So attractions or I don't know, parade handler or greeter at the front, whatever. But say, for instance, like your store staff and your restaurant staff and everything like that. From when I was there, they just weren't very excited to be there. But then you get, I don't know, like all the butlers and say like bellhops at the tower and everything like that. I've never had a bad experience with anybody like that or any attraction that I can think of. It's just specific jobs that I think drains an individual, you know?
Yeah. But I can understand that people do get jaded in their positions, but you're being paid to do a job. You put that smile on your face and you keep it there because these people are paid a lot of money to come and be immersed in a whole place, and you have somebody that's grumpy. There was many a time a few times I said I was done with Disney.
Yeah, I don't think...
And it wasn't because of rides or anything like that. It was usually because of a human interaction.
I don't think that Disney ethic's there that used to be. I know apparently they've... Hunter, did you go through traditions?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all did. That was... 9-minute hellhole, but go on.
Apparently, traditions.
9-hour hellhole.
It's not what it used to be, though, is it? It's apparently not as extensive as it used to be.
No, I did go through the extensive one because it was a weird switch up. I had to go through the full 8-9 hour experience. But say, for instance, most of the workers that are coming in, like the college program kids, which makes up a huge majority of the work staff, it seems, like 30% or something like that. They only had to go through like an hour and a half orientation.
Really?
So I felt a little bit more fired up. But then there's also, it's not fair for me to judge because the people that I associate with my program that are still my best friends are all very immersed in kind of what a theme park is and what the Disney spirit is and what people expect from that.
Yeah.
But those that are just there, oh, I work at Disney type deal, I don't think they latch onto that. So for instance, like me, I worked in Adventureland a lot of the time, and a person would ask, you know, where's the restrooms? And I would point to a nearby tree or something like that, you know, just to mess around with people and, you know, just immerse yourself in the character. But I didn't really see that from, you know, 85% of my coworkers, unfortunately.
It's disappointing.
I would like to say, though, some of the best, there weren't necessarily interactions, although there were a couple of times when we were on the trams going from the car parks into the Disney parks.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
We had some, because we would sit at the back, so we'd be chatting to them and having a laugh and everything. We've had some great interactions there.
The one place I'll still feel that I felt Universal team members lacked a little sparkle was the Forbidden Journey, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
When they're loading the ride, it's what's the word I want to use? Efficient's not quite. It's very
militant.
I'm not kind of.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, you
I
kind of
don't.
have to look at that constant boarding, though.
I'm not going to interact with. I'm not going to. It's get on the ride. Get on the ride. Keep moving. Move. Get on. Get on.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes you.
I think that comes with the Omni Mover kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see how stressed out a lot of them are most of the time.
Yeah, that's
But
not
then
what
you
I
can
would like to do.
You look
Yeah.
at a low pressure ride, say like Revenge of the Mummy or something like that, where they do have a chance to interact with the guests while they're loading the vehicle with the thumb turns and peeking around corners and scaring people and things like that. I think it's more the nature of the ride itself than the team members.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, definitely. And I think another thing that causes a big problem there is there's a split in the lines, like right before you get to the loading area for Forbidden Journey.
Yeah.
And they have to deal with so many people trying to cut over to the fast pass line and doing things like that. That I think it drives them nuts, to be honest.
Or
I'm
get in the
surprised.
single rider line. No, I have a party of 6.
Yeah.
Party of 6.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right, we shall move on to assumption number 5. And assumption number 5 is that Universal still rocks theme park food.
Tut.
This one is totally true. At some point, Disney figured out that they could draw longer stays, stroke more visits from adult guests if they increased the quality of food and tried to make food for every diet. They continually get better and better on this front, and it's one of the reasons we visit so much. Universal has not learned this yet. During our visit, I was brought back to Disney World circa 2002 when all I could eat was veggie burgers, horrible pizza, and French fries. Apparently they're both vegetarian. Universal seems to have a million little dining locations, but all of them seem to serve the same bad frozen pizza. The same bad frozen pizza like pizza. Also, boo for the complete lack of vegetarian food at the Three Broomsticks. And Mythos. All the Universal folks kept telling us it was rated the best theme park restaurant in the world. They forgot to mention that this quote was of questionable origin and was first written 10 plus years ago. The sign outside proclaiming this fact should tip you off going in. If something is good, it speaks for itself. You don't need a sign to tell people how good your food is. That being said, if you love Applebee's, you'll love Mythos. Suffice it to say, they don't love Applebee's. But they do need to mention the big exception that was Emeril's Chop Chop at the Royal Pacific. It's a great restaurant and we highly recommend it. Make sure you buy one of their super cool tiki mugs.
Sorry, can I jump in? When was this assumption made?
Within the last 6 to 8 weeks, I think.
Right, then they're idiots. I'd just like to say that last trip, to be able to eat on Disney property, I had to start eating meat. Because Disney is the worst for a vegetarian.
No, because if you're a vegetarian, you can
eat salad,
talk to them, and
grass.
they will make you something. That's always been the big thing with Disney, is they will work with you with any dietary requirements.
You never told me that.
That's
You
right,
just
isn't it,
just
Hunter?
made me eat meat.
I haven't compared I feel like this is a really good episode for me because I have so much experience with both the parks. I've never felt like Disney has. I think they have a couple more varied options, but I've never felt the quality of the food was vastly increased at a Disney park in comparison to Universal. Honestly, they're both theme park like establishments. Theme parks, So I'm not sure how great food in a theme park. I'm just having trouble cohering this.
No, I know what you mean. It's like everyone talks about the Disney food. Me and Craig Lucas have had this conversation before, that everyone goes, oh my God, the food on Disney property is amazing. And it's like, I've had good meals, but I still never had a meal that I've gone, oh, that was the best meal I've ever had. I'm not saying I've had that on Universal property either, but...
Well, I've had the direct opposite. I ate at Pizza Planet once.
Oh, yes, we have as well. Never again.
Only once.
Well, no, I definitely argue, in comparison to Be Our Guest, I still think Mythos has better food overall. So there's that.
I'd just like to say, I've just pulled up a menu for one of our favourite Disney restaurants.
50s prime time.
50s prime time. There are 2 vegetarian entrees. A vegetable lasagna. Wow, that's boring. And multigrain spaghetti, which is vegetable protein and mushrooms tossed in marinara sauce, just like spaghetti and meatballs, without the meatballs. So it's spaghetti and red sauce with a few mushrooms. And basically,
But anyway.
mince. It's kind of like, vegetarians, we like food. you've got all of those other great options when you're eating in there. Give us 2 pasta-based ones. What if you can't eat pasta?
You've gone off on the tangent. The actual assumption was that there's still basically all you can get at Universal are crappy hot dogs, pizzas, and burgers.
I'm just showing you a crappy option for Disney.
Well, for damn sure, anything in City Walk's going to blow anything in the 2 theme parks the 2 theme park resorts out of the water.
Absolutely.
And City Walk, I mean, hell, if I want a meal, I'm not going to drive to downtown Disney for anything halfway decent, which isn't there anymore, by the way. But if I'm at Universal and I want something good, I'll just walk out into City Walk.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a 5-minute journey out of the park.
And can I just say Springfield?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We ate so well in Springfield.
Darren, you visited the parks probably more than any of us within the last 6 months, and you've been to Disney a little bit. What are your thoughts on this?
I've gained the weight to prove it as well. Well, yeah, the thing that is interesting to me is they go off and mention one of the hotel restaurants at the end there. So if you're including those, you've got awesome restaurants at each hotel there. Each one has amazing restaurants, most of them, at least 2 of them. And then on top of that, in the park itself, especially with Diagon Alley opening, you got a lot of different interesting options that you don't have anywhere else. You can get a baked potato, as a to-go thing. That's not something I've ever seen at a theme park or anything like that. I think they have a lot of really good options there. Like you said, Springfield, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff I had at Disney, I mean, for the most part, was just standard theme park food.
Forgettable food.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't go to any of the reservation required Fast Pass Plus places.
Although I will say that I did enjoy the Pilgrim's Feast.
Oh, at Liberty Tree Tavern.
That was delicious.
It's expensive. I found when we were there last year that the food on Disney property was expensive. The stuff at Universal isn't at all.
But again, I felt we were rushed in there as well.
Yeah,
that's
it
slightly
feels
off
like
topic.
Yeah, Disney's charging you a little bit for their experience as well, which isn't as much experience as it used to be.
Well, we didn't get much experience. We hardly saw our server.
Well, I said we went to Beer Garden with Andy and Sam at Epcot, and it cost us $150 for the 4 of us. Yeah, we went to Mythos, 6 of us. All right, we had Eric's annual pass discount at the time, but it cost us less than $100 for 6 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot more reasonable.
And I can remember the food from Mythos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the butter, especially the butter.
Yeah. I can remember not getting a refill.
But I think it doesn't matter where you go. Any theme park's going to have the theme park food, because people don't want to go and take the time out to sit and eat a meal. They just want to grab a burger, grab a hot dog, and let's get back on the rides.
Corn dog and a churro, that used to be our standard.
Yeah. I still think overall Disney probably is better, but I think Universal is slowly catching up.
I don't think it's slowly. I think they're fast catching up.
And I can't stress enough, I don't think you can just compare, it's 2 different stories, what's in the theme park and the options that are available just right outside of the theme park.
Yeah.
You don't have that with Disney. Okay, you're going to go to...
That's a brilliant point.
Yeah, you are a captive audience in a Disney park.
You're going to go to Golden Horseshoe, or you're going to go to... What is it? Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, yeah.
You're going to go to Crystal Palace and wait 45 minutes. Actually, I think Golden Horseshoe's been quick service for a while now.
Yeah.
But you're going to go to something like Crystal Palace, or you're going to end up at Pago Silva eating a burger. So Universal, okay, you're going to end up at, I don't know, Fantastic Four Cafe, or you're going to end up at Mythos. Mm-hmm. It's there's still there's the comparison there anyways.
Yeah, that people have like Cosmic Rays in the Magic Kingdom and Pecos Bill, like you say, they are just bog standard theme park.
Yeah, and they both are. It's nothing like that. A variety of options. I can just walk outside and then walk right outside the park, and within 10 minutes I have 16 different options I can pick from.
Absolutely.
I'd just like to say, if you complain about that, don't ever come to a UK theme park.
No, not at all.
Does it just spit at you?
No, it's just if you think American theme park food's expensive, it's nothing compared to what we get charged over here.
Oh, no, our local one's not bad, actually.
Yeah, but you've got
But,
like
like,
the
Alton
big one,
Towers
the
and-
Merlin
yeah.
Alton Towers. It's just crazy.
They have your eyes out.
Which is funny because I've heard a lot of the European parks are actually fairly decent
yeah,
outside of the UK.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not
Like I
Europe.
was listening, Season Pass was talking about Europa Parks food prices.
So
which
desperate to
I
go
know.
there.
Yeah.
We've got friends who actually we're going to be talking to soon for the Dead Man's Digest, Lee and Sarah, who go quite regularly and they love it over there. And they have a restaurant called the Food Loop where your food comes to you on a roller coaster.
I need to do
Oh,
that
awesome.
so
Yeah.
much. Oh, you've got
Believe
to
it or
Google
not,
it.
I've actually been to Europa Park.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when you lived in Germany?
When I lived in Germany.
So moving on, assumption number 4 is Universal's resorts could never compare to Disney resorts. They said this assumption is completely debunked. We can only speak to the Royal Pacific Resort, but we really loved it. It's slightly less themed than most Disney deluxe resorts, but it was still lovely. We'd also like to give a big A+ for the staff at the Royal Pacific. Overall, we really enjoyed our stay here and now plan on hitting up Lowe's hotels when we travel to other cities.
That's good.
I do agree with them being slightly less themed, but I agree with everything there. So yeah.
But I think Universal do that on purpose.
But can I just say, what do you do in your room? Really? You sleep in it. You wash,
sleep.
you change. You know, that's...
I think the people who stay on Universal property are there for a different reason than the people that
Yeah.
stay on Disney property.
Yeah.
Well, it's at Disney. I am fully enraptured, in Disney. It's everywhere I go. It's everything. I am on Disney property. I am, miles away from everything else. Universal, it's still pretty obvious. I'm out in the middle of, the city, but that's cool because I'm still having a great experience. But I think that's the mindset there. With Disney, you want to be fully enveloped in Disney,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why when we stayed on Disney property, it didn't work for us.
No.
Because we didn't want to be in that bubble. We know exactly how much more there is to experience. And getting out of that Disney bubble is so hard.
Absolutely.
And yeah, the place we stayed was nice.
Oh, it was lovely. The Port of the Port Orleans French Quarter was
Yeah, it was
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Oh, I love Port Orleans.
Yeah, it was lovely.
But the room was no different.
No.
To
Well, then they're not-
A
you
non. Well,
The Royal Pacific wasn't either.
the Royal-
Especially Darren's room.
the dungeon.
The whole,
The Harry Potter suite, right?
yep.
My complaint about the Royal Pacific was the sheets were overstarched.
I knew you were gonna
because
say
it was
that.
so noisy.
When you've got an 8-year-old that doesn't lay still.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're talking about like being slightly less themed. But I mean, Darren, you can speak to this. Cabana Bay is definitely lifting that theming up.
Yeah, definitely. Those rooms are awesome. Crazy themed in there.
The resort as a whole, I think they've got that's more. It's more of a Disney themed hotel
Yeah.
than the others are, but still sort of not being.
It's more of a destination hotel then.
It's
so they're
not-
expecting people to spend more time in that environment, maybe.
I think if you're in a Disney hotel, you know you're in a Disney hotel.
Right.
Actually, after the first time, I didn't, because we only got the towel creations once.
And that wasn't really a decent one.
You know, we didn't seem to get a lot of those little touches that we've been led to expect from Disney.
Yeah.
We didn't
And
get those.
And keep in mind, until much recently, Universal didn't have, or until very recently, Universal didn't have much of an option for those who were looking for an extended day option,
Yeah.
or an extended stay option, pardon me, because we have, people that come from overseas like you guys that'll come over and stay, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever. But we didn't even really get family suites until, Cabana Bay.
Yeah.
True.
So there's that too.
And then you think with Sapphire Falls opening soon, they're definitely starting to target that market more. I mean, look at Thomas from last week. He went down for 4 nights and he stayed all 4 on Universal property. So
I've got to say that when you think about it, though, when you've got all those hotels, and you've got the parks, and you've got we're talking about the Disney bubble, there is now really a Universal bubble. Because if you want to, there's no reason for you to leave
I think it's
Universal.
more of a bubble than Disney, to be quite honest, as well.
Quite possibly. You don't have all those road systems to get lost on.
No. You could park your car at the hotel and never have to drive again. I know you can do that at Disney with the buses.
Well, you
and
can do
stuff,
that at
but-
Disney too.
Yeah, but you don't want to be tackling those buses from.
No, you really do not. Please rent a car.
That's it,
Yes, that's
right?
my
I think
advice.
I fear this next one's going to really get people's goats.
Is it about attractions?
Assumption number 3: the background music at Universal is the worst.
Where's my gun?
This one is pretty much true. If you don't know much about us, we are majorly obsessed with background music. We consider it the largest defining factor in why Disney parks feel so special. This is one additional area, in addition to dining, that Universal could learn something from Disney. The loops were lackluster, unbalanced, and lacked transition as a rule. There were definitely a few exceptions, such as Hogsmeade and Port of Entry, but overall they were blah.
At least they mentioned Port of Entry because that's my.
Yeah, Port of Entry is a stunning piece of music.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm going to be the odd man out on this one. I do think Disney has it way above and beyond on these loops, and
No, I
I
agree.
pretty much agree with everything they say. Because
Really?
Universal doesn't have standout moments for me. It's just random selections from other films, or it does not evoke an emotion in me or seem appropriate for the area at all times. It doesn't seem to fit the area like how the Disney area. Okay, Frontierland. I know I'm going to hear, acoustic guitars, harmonica, banjo, whatever. It ties the whole experience together.
Yeah, I think you can look at the Universal parks. If you're looking at this music, you've got to cut them in half. Because Islands of Adventure musically is very different from the studios.
Mm-hmm.
Islands of Adventure is more akin to what you are getting at a Disney park, yes.
Because all that music was composed specifically for each area.
Yeah.
I mean, as we know from talking to William Cade with the music for... I mean, they did mention Port of Entry, and Port of Entry as a whole, the music is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But even Zeus Landing, Marvel, Jurassic Park, obviously the Lost Continent, some of it's still there, but even that music's there. But yeah, I mean, Darren... the studios being the park that you probably spend the most amount of time in, would you agree with this?
For the most part, I consider it more like Universal's music is like a compilation. It's not set and themed to each area, except for a couple of spots where it is. Of course, Diagon Alley, the Simpsons area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've always got Simpsons style music playing there.
Yes, I've found Jade in the toilet, stood for about 10 minutes listening to it.
Yeah. The San Francisco Wharf area is always playing, like the 60s, 70s, kind of like radio friendly rock kind of stuff. I mean, each area, if you do really listen and pay attention, of course, it's not themed music for that area. Not necessarily, but it fits with the area, what they're doing. And there's some things I love when it comes on. Of course, Back to the Future when it plays by the gates. That's just awesome for me. And then also in the Central Park area, they play a song. I don't even know. Oh gosh. I'm trying to, because it's just a musical piece,
Right.
but it's like totally directed to running in slow motion and that kind of thing.
Not
like
Chariots
anytime
of Fire, is it?
Is it?
Is that what it is? Like the
In
one that
Central
they play
Park?
at the top, at the end of National Lampoon's Vacation when they run into the park.
Yeah.
Chariots
was
of
it?
Fire.
That.
Oh, it's
Like,
Chariots of
that's
Fire.
right
It is,
in
isn't
there.
it? Dun, 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 dun.
And I never miss an opportunity to run in slow motion when it's fun.
Exactly. We do it too, and we see other people doing it. Like you can be across the park and look over there, and there's somebody doing it if that music is on.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of cool little things like that, I think. And because like a lot of the park is not, broken up into themed areas, of course you're not going to have specially themed music in most places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter, right? You can obviously compare the studios to Hollywood studios, and would you say that was as well themed musically as, say, the Magic Kingdom?
No, not by a long shot. Magic Kingdom's still going to be supreme there. But then
Yeah,
I
I
also
agree.
have, full disclosure, I've wandered the Magic Kingdom park, in the dark when there's only 50 people in there, and the
Wow.
background music plays all evening, So
Yeah.
I'm very, very attached to that. That's one of my fondest memories. So I have a really big bias here.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean-
just to chime in myself, I do. I mean, you know, I absolutely love the music, especially of Islands of Adventure, because it's so emotive for me because I have such a connection with that particular park. But Disney have been at this game for a lot longer.
This is true.
You know, and you do have, especially the Magic Kingdom, you do have a lot of emotional reactions. It's probably because you can hear these pieces of music. You don't realise you're hearing them.
I think Islands is like that.
But music has, that's why it's such an emotional attachment with Islands for me. Music does play a big part in everybody's lives emotionally.
Yeah.
It transports everybody more than a visual does, really.
Yep.
So, yes, I think that Disney have the edge, but I do think that Universal are pretty close behind, especially with pieces of music like in Port of Entry.
Yeah, the studios isn't, but as you say, it's a difficult one. I'm actually thinking, and I'm struggling to pick any. The only place I can think of a piece of music in the studios that leaps out at me that I remember hearing is the Transformers music around the Transformers building. Other than that, there's nothing jumping out. But I mean, you even think as far as like the Wizarding World. I mean, obviously we haven't been to Diagon Alley, but you think about Hogsmeade, and a lot of the time during the day you can't hear that music because of the hubbub of people. But we've walked through that area at night with virtually just us in it.
Exactly.
And that area's the music in that area is perfect.
It is.
Or for instance, walking through the Forbidden Journey queue and you're hearing my favorite piece of music from the entire franchise is what is it, Leaving Hogwarts or something along those lines?
Yes.
Yeah. It plays through there, and then that, you know, just music connects with you. It's the biggest thing, I think, for most people.
Yeah.
So, but there's something, the same experiences I have, you know, walking outside. Like, everyone knows my favorite attraction of all time is the Haunted Mansion, and I've been outside there and listened to the music and everything like that. I've gotten the same feeling walking outside and then sitting next to the lighthouse and listening to Ocean Trader Market, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Port of Entry is definitely the sort of the peak of that music, isn't it? Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
When you listen to the work that went in for that transition, so when you're walking from the entrance, like the ticket things,
Yeah, from the lighthouse. Yeah.
up to the lagoon is it. And
And all
most
these
people
people
won't
that
even
just-
know that.
Yeah. And all these people that just barrel through and don't even listen.
Yeah.
Stupid people, you're missing out. Sorry, that's my usual soapbox.
Right, assumption number 2. Universal is technologically superior. And they said, I'll give this one to Universal. However, this doesn't always translate into fun. I am an engineer in the real world, and the seamless way they're able to sync physical movement to projected footage is pretty incredible. Automation at that level is difficult to achieve. That being said, we were very impressed with this the first time we experienced it, and then another, and another, and another. You get the idea. It quickly got old, and we quickly got nauseous. My opinion on this can be boiled down to these 3 statements: screens, screens, and more screens. Screens are cold, practical effects are warm and inviting. People, generally, just don't connect with screens like they do to physical effects. Universal is a one-trick pony. It's an impressive trick, but they need a new one.
What I would say there is Disney have area. They can spread out and build, like, if they wanted to put another ride in that was physical, like Pirates of the Caribbean, which we all love because it is amazing, right? They could, because they do have the space. Universal don't. They have a finite amount of land.
Yeah.
So this is where the screens probably come into play for them. But I do agree. I would like to see some more physical rather than.
Well, here's my comment, I guess. If you're going to do a physical set and make it look like The Little Mermaid, I'd rather have screens.
Well said.
Um,
This is true. Yes.
Because Disney isn't doing big physical attractions like they're not doing stuff like your Pirates and your Haunted Mansion and things like that. You're just not
No.
seeing that anymore. I'd say like the last, unless you guys can think of anything, maybe the last Hurrah or something like that was probably the Great Movie Ride. And even that's not up to the standard of,
No.
you know, those attractions they built back 40 years ago.
The last one they built with a decent audio animatronic, that audio animatronic lasted about 3 months and now doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and then if you turn him back on, he's going to pull the whole ride down.
Yeah. That's just mean.
I've heard this debate more and more recently, and I've always kind of gone, no, I don't agree with it. And then the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, Transformers is screens, Spider-Man screens, Forbidden Journey screens, Gringotts is screens, and Shrek's screens, and Despicable Me's screens, and The Simpsons is screens. And then you compare it to something like, and there's very few of them at Universal now, actually, the more you think about it, something like Men in Black, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is why I think we're going to have to see, they have to utilize something physical in King Kong. Otherwise, they're going to take so many hits for not utilizing it when they should have.
Well, Darren, I think this is one that you can really comment on because you've been going to those parks since those very, very early days when there was barely any screens and it was all physical stuff.
Yeah, I think the problem is that the quality of animatronics has not increased to an acceptable level for today's market.
Disagree.
I think what Darren said is like you couldn't do the stuff that they're doing in Gringotts and Forbidden Journey and Spider-Man stuff with a physical animatronic. Yeah, you couldn't do it. Well, they tried to do it with Transformers and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, but that was only going to be one scene of it. It's not like they were going to have the whole thing going in full scale because it's impossible. Like you can't match. In my opinion, you can't match the quality of something like that. Yeah, sure, I like going on ET. It's nice, but it's retro for me.
Yeah.
And, like, to see all the mannequins in the cars and that kind of thing, very obvious mannequins. And when I went to Disney and I saw these things, especially jarring during Pirates of the Caribbean, because you're on that thing, you're on that ride, you're seeing all the classic Disney-styled pirates and everything, and then all of a sudden Jack Sparrow pops up out of nowhere. Looking photorealistic, which is very disturbing.
And that's the exact point I'm going to make. I would have agreed with you until I saw Jack. Now, I don't think it's financially feasible for you to make an attraction using all audio animatronics of that caliber, and especially the amount of problems that Jack has had over the years.
Well, when I was there, he was frozen, just popping out of the barrel, but he's
not
like
tilting head and moving and everything like that.
Really?
No, it's just like popping out, looking out, and then popping back in. But I've also heard Pirates is notorious for having a lot of technical problems.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to think of what a ride.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, this is if people don't speak to George.
Yeah.
In fact, every time we ride that, I'll do whisper, "Hello, George, we're here." Just in case.
It's a weird one as well because you say like a lot of them, they probably go out with the screens because it's easier to maintain a screen. A screen will work over and over and over and over again. But then when you look at the amount of time Gringotts has been down recently, then you can argue against that fact.
Yeah.
But then you can look at audio animatronics like Jack Sparrow. You could look at the Wicked Witch and the Great Movie Ride and things like that. There's the place to utilize it. I don't think they can use it all the time.
No.
Just like how Disney has not swapped out every single audio animatronic for a full... Or the auctioneer in Pirates as well. That's another major one.
Yeah.
There's no way they could switch them all out for something like that. But when they do it, they excel at their game, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you look at the ride for me that at Universal that kind of mixes the two very well is Forbidden Journey. I mean, I don't know how much physical set-wise there is in Gringotts, but you look at Forbidden Journey, the Dragon Head's real, the Dementors are real, the Whomping Willow's real. Mm-hmm. You know, the bridge set's real. There's still plenty of physical sets in there, and the screens just they fill that gap that you couldn't do those screen bits with a physical set.
Exactly, which is where I think Universal needs to head, and it looks like that's where they're going to head with Kong, with a mixture between the two. You know,
hopefully.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just Universal to me has always more been about excitement and exciting rides and that kind of thing, and and those kind of animatronics really suit themselves well to something like the Hall of Presidents or something like that.
A slow-moving dark ride.
Exactly. Yeah. You know. The Spaceship Earth, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're well suited for, but you're not going to get a lot of excitement and fast motion and that kind of thing out of those. And that's more what I was getting at the beginning.
I see what you're saying. Because why would you implement an audio animatronic with so many ranges of motion if each rider's only going to see them for about 2 seconds apiece?
Yeah.
Well, I do think there's a place like, I don't know, Revenge of the Mummy, when you're pulling around the corner, the Mummy has been in a better state, you know?
It's awful now.
Yeah.
Imhotep, yeah. He's been in a better state, but when he's moving full motion, that's a good utilization of an audio animatronic in a thrill ride attraction. It's not saying the entire ride has to use it,
No.
but it is a show-stopping moment, you know?
Absolutely. Like, it's funny you brought up the great movie ride, the Wicked Witch of the West animatronic in that. I think stunning.
Oh, yeah. She's one of the AAA figures.
Oh, without a doubt. I think we hadn't ridden it for 4 years. We went back, and I actually had to look at it and think, is that a real person? Yeah. I genuinely wasn't sure.
Yes, I remember
Last
that.
I checked, those characters like the Auctioneer and Pirates and the Wicked Witch, if they are shut down because they're so integral to the ride, they shut down the complete attraction.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's quite right.
But there isn't anything animatronic-wise, really. I mean, they do it more with Universal. But the thing at Universal is it's a queue line distraction. You know, you think about Gringotts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think Gringotts had the right idea, but say Forbidden Journey, how much cooler would it have been if they would have gotten a lifelike, say like a Jack Sparrow type figure for the trio instead of that screen effect that doesn't quite look right.
Yeah.
Looks great for Dumbledore. That works fine, but when you're in there looking at the trio, you can see right through them. It's disconcerting.
That could have been in... yeah, but then you'd look at it and go, it doesn't even... how realistic is an animatronic of a person? I'm saying that the Hall of Presidents, they're pretty decent, aren't they? But
You just said it with the witch, though.
Yeah, but you don't see a face, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She blinks and moves and everything.
Okay. But then you
why
gotta
Keep in
think
mind,
that's...
a
they're
real
not
person.
too close in front of them. They're still
No.
a good 8 feet back, maybe. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but you're still a good distance away. You're not going to be right up against them.
I think the thing with that Musion technology is they did it with Christopher Walken and Disaster, and they went, oh, this is stunning. Right, what else can we use it in? Oh, there you go. We'll just fling it in there. I think it's just that it was like they had a new toy and we're going to use it as much as we can.
Well, the Gringotts didn't even implement it as well as that, though.
I have heard that as well. So moving on to assumption number 1. Universal and Disney theme parks can be compared.
Well, everything can be compared.
You know what I mean? We are constantly hearing people fighting about if Universal or Disney parks are better stroke worse than each other, and now that we've really experienced both, I don't get it. The world is a better place with both of them in it. Both have great things, both have terrible things. It's just a fact of life. If you are going to compare anything, compare Disney to Disney and Universal to Universal.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be comparisons, but I think we're getting further and further away from that. We're not going to, especially as the lines become blurred. Okay, this is a Universal park, this is a Disney park. Universal's been so on top of their game because when I think of Disney, I'm thinking of a themed experience, and Universal has excelled at that the last 4 years or so. So,
I think too many people who haven't been to Universal go to Universal expecting it to be like a Disney park, and it isn't. And then when it's not what they expect from a Disney park, oh, well, they don't like it because it's not what you expect. It's different from what your expectations are. But because it is different.
But as we've said before, each park, the rivalry, keeps the other one on the toes.
Absolutely.
It would be a very different kettle of fish if it was just one brand.
Yeah.
You know, we've also got the other parks in the area as well that help with that keeping on of toes.
well, I think even in my view, I've noticed the one brand, the major brand, isn't even acknowledging the other brands. They know they're here to stay. So I think Universal just wants to build an experience. I don't think they're out to compete with Disney. They want to build a experience that can either be a primary or a supplementary, but either way, you're going to end up there somehow or some way.
I don't agree with that. I think Universal have set their stall out to try and take as much from Disney as they can. I think the fact that they're targeting that that lower end's not the right word, the moderate hotel market, and starting to put more family friendly ish attractions in. I think they are out to target Disney.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think that's been their goal from the beginning. Is just I think it's kind of a combination between what you and Hunter are saying. It's that they have always up until very recently they've been okay getting the extra trim from Disney.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, come to Disney, but then also hop by Universal for a couple of days. There's near shuttles, that kind of thing. But also, yeah, like you're saying, with the more moderate hotels, just more hotels, period, on property, more options. They're going to try to do that a little bit, but you can't really compete with somebody who's got that much land.
No.
Yeah. And also keep in mind, Lee and Tracy, you guys are more the exception than the rule. You guys are coming down next year and not even going to Disney. You are you're pretty much the 1% at that point. You know?
Yeah.
It's not that many people that are going to do that. I still think Universal, like I said, they're fine being primary, they're fine being supplementary, but either way, they've still got traffic coming into their parks.
Yeah.
And that's just increasing their growth. And if they want to go head to head eventually, so be it.
I think they definitely are. You only have to look back to when they put the Cinematic Spectacular and the Superstar Parade in, that they even used Disney terminology when they talked about the Cinematic Spectacular, of it being the Kiss Goodnight.
Well, that also says, okay, well, Disney is I think they have a lot of reverence for Disney, but they see the things how they're going to approach it a different way. But they still have respect because Disney kind of is the
market leader.
It's the dad to this,
Yeah. I think you find there's a lot of the Universal creative guys who work there are ex-Disney Imagineers anyway.
Yeah.
So it probably comes a lot from that.
Jason Sorrell leave recently, actually.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, last I checked.
Right.
Well, there you go. I think that was quite an interesting discussion.
It was.
Certainly something
I
different.
think it was better coming in blind, like you
yes.
said.
That was
Although
the
there was
idea.
a few pauses while we were all considering what you said.
Yeah. Right. It's I think us as Universal, when we talk on the podcast, a lot of the time, probably me more than anybody else, we are very, or at least I come across as very anti-Disney. And I'm not, but it's not my first love anymore.
No.
And I think people say that I'm blinkered a little bit because of what we do. And I probably am. It does probably sway my decision a little bit.
But we are good on personal experiences here a lot.
Definitely. Because if you guys want to chime in, send us an email. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these as well. And I just wanted to say thanks to Derek and the Disney Hipsters for letting us use their article. It was it certainly gave us a decent discussion. So we've been going for quite a while, so that will bring us to the end of episode 118. So until next week, I want to say thanks to Derek again, and Sarah for their other topic suggestions. So for Darren, Tracy, Hunter, I've been Lee, and this has been the one, the only unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Don't eat it, Pizza Planet.
That does it for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Between shows, we'd love for you to get in touch. So email us with your spews, funny schmitz, comments, questions, and news to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Keep up with what's going on every day by following us on Twitter @UUOPodcast, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/UUOPodcast, follow us on Instagram and Pinterest @UUOPodcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/UUOPodcast, and don't miss a show by subscribing to us on iTunes, and please leave us a review. Not an Apple user? Then head over to uuopodcast.libsyn.com and subscribe to the feed while you're there. You can also find us on Stitcher Radio and at micepod.com. Come find us on our partner site, micechat.com, join the forums, and say hello. So thanks for listening, and remember, be adventurous.
This has been a MicePod.com presentation.
MiceChat.com